Hello everybody and welcome back to Bouncing Back with Brighton. In today's episode we are going to face Barnsley and Birmingham in the final two games of the championship season, and that will wrap up the end of season. We'll discuss a few things like how the squad performed, where I'm seeing the improvements that are needed, how we're going to spend our money, and of course we've got some fixtures to review since the last time we met. The last time we met was, of course, the victory against Southampton. We followed that up with a highly disappointing 0-0 draw against Sheffield United. These three games, actually, they were all completely dull affairs. So 0-0, nothing to talk about. Let's move on. Millwall were incredibly fortunate to get away with this one with a 1-0. Jose Izquierdo came out up with the goods in the 93rd minute, so literally one of the final kicks of the game gave us the 3 points. Victor had missed a penalty in the 61st minute, which meant we were a bit on edge, but we did deserve the win on reflection, but another unconvincing win. And finally, West Brom take the title as the only side that remain undefeated against us this season. A 0-0 home draw. We did dominate the game without really creating too much going forward. Our attacking players didn't perform particularly well, and I think a lot of our players are now on the beach. But that brings us to today's game against Barnsley. We'll have a look at the league table. We are on 111 points. I did look up, and Reading are currently the record points holders on 106 points. So we've already surpassed that by 5. We could potentially surpass that by another 6, but you know, the way we're playing, probably not. But we are the record points holders, so that is something to cheer. In terms of Barnsley, it looks like they'll be coming out with a 4-2-3-1. Ejaria, a former Sunderland player, when they were in the Championship. That was a nice time. Collie Woodrow up front. It's an okay side. I think they are currently in the playoff spots or just about there. They're currently in 7th, so they've got a lot to play for. So they will be hoping that they can get one over on us in today's game. But in terms of the lineup for today, for us, it is going to look like this. It's going to be Montoya at right back with Jack Butland in goal. Suter and Cabezas in at centre back with Martinez at left back. Baluta and Bissouma in the centre of midfield. Knockout and Ben Woodburn on the wings. McAllister in behind Dejan Joveljic. Unfortunately for me, Izquierdo wants to leave the club. He doesn't think I've given enough chances to youngsters. He acknowledged that I gave the chance to Joveljic and that he hasn't been playing at the required level to match the first team. So he kind of wants us to leave now because of the sale of Andonia, but whatever, I'm not that bothered. So we kick off shooting from right to left in this first half. Barnsley did indeed come at us with the 4-2-3-1 as was expected. We are away from home, so it might be a little bit more difficult, but we'll just see how things go. In terms of how the team performs, I'm not really that bothered. You know, we've won the league. The games are pretty much meaningless at this point, and I think the players feel the same way. So I would love to see us score some goals. Joveljic, come on, son. 8th goal of the season. He's playing in the porter role in today's game. He must have played about 6 roles since he's joined the club, but we're trying him in the poacher. I think he played in the second half of the last game as well, so we'll see how that goes for the final couple of games. But he's got 1 goal there. It was a decent finish. The keeper should definitely do better with that strike. But we're 1-0 up. His 8th goal of the season and an assist for McAllister. Highlight now, Barnsley with the free kick in an advanced position, but looks like we could potentially break with Bissouma sliding on the grass there. That was absolutely fantastic stuff. Coming down the left-hand side, Ben Woodburn with a sliding challenge to retain possession, but Barnsley end up mopping up in defence. We put the pressure straight back on though. McAllister switches the flank to Knockout on the right-hand side, who gets the ball in. Another assist for Knockout, the 11th goal of the season for Ben Woodburn. He has really been our utility player this season. He's played pretty much everywhere across the attacking line. And another assist for Knockout. I think that's probably his 15th or 16th assist for him. And Ben Woodburn at the back post, making it 2-0. This is much better. Another highlight now, 17 minutes in. Bissouma with a strike from the edge. Good save by Davies. 20 minutes in, the highlights are coming thick and fast in this game, where the previous 3 games, you could have played through them all inside the first half of this one. Bissouma takes a strike from the edge and he gets his 6th goal of the season, an assist by our left back, Alex Martinez. That makes it 3-0 to us. We have scored quite a number of goals from the edge of the box, some really good strikes from our players. It seems to be one of the strengths of the squad as a whole, long-range strikes, but another good drive and run by Bissouma. He has done well when he's got the game time as the Metzola in the centre of midfield. And that is going to be that for the first half. An absolutely one of the best first half performances we've had in quite a while. We've made all of our opportunities count really. 3-0 against a playoff contender is an incredibly good result. But it's not over yet. We've still got the second half, and you never know, Barnsley might turn it on. 20 minutes to go in this game. We will look just to make our 3 substitutions. Alex Martinez can stay on. We'll get Onuma on for Bissouma. We'll get Reece Oxford on for Beluta. And then we'll get Bogle on for Montoya. Well, after a scintillating first half, this second half has surely been the exact opposite. We do have one highlight. Is this going to go our way, or are Barnsley going to get a clear? They're not. Onuma's there. And this is going to be the final highlight of the game. Brighton 3, Barnsley 0. The damage was done in the first half. We will take that and move on to the final game of the season against Birmingham City. And we are back for the final game of the season. This is how we are going to line up. Jack Butland in goal, Bogle at right back with Martinez at left back, Suter and Cabasas in centre back, Beluta and Bissouma in the centre, Anthony Knockyard, Ben Woburn and Jack Grealish in the attacker midfield roles with Dejan Joveljic leading the line. So Birmingham come at us with an incredibly defensive formation, 4-1-4-1. Defensive midfielder, Harley Dean in there, Maxime Collin-Jota. Some names I recognise from Brentford save I did a couple of years ago. Bertolacci in there as well, a decent Italian central midfielder. But we'll just kick off again. It's last game of the season. Can we make it a good one for the fans, get some goals, and hopefully end the season on a high. Highlight now early on. It looks like we're going to break from a Birmingham City corner. We'll give the ball straight away actually, so it might be Birmingham, it might be us. Bogle comes away with it down the right hand side, takes on 4, and Joveljic is there. His second goal in 2 games as a Portuguese, 9th goal of the season. An absolutely fantastic run by Jayden Bogle at right back. There was one point where I think he was surrounded by at least 5 players. You can see Amir picks up the ball from Anthony Knockyard, gets past 2. There's 3, there's 4, so 4. It's not too bad, is it really? Nice assist, nice goal, happy days. Another highlight 3 minutes in, Bissouma coming down through the centre, finds Jack Grealish to Beluta. Not much width there, Jack Grealish to Bissouma. Finds its way to Anthony Knockyard on this right hand side. He tries to beat his man, he completely does him. Woodburn's back post, it's cleared, but Martinez picks it up. Is he going to go for the strike, or is he going to go for the cross? Or are we going to give it away? Bogle now cuts inside after Jack Grealish finds him. It would have been nice for him to get a goal, wouldn't it? This highlight is still not over. It's been on for a good 2 minutes of in-game action. Anthony Knockyard down this right-hand side finds Joveljic, who's drifted out wide. He finds Jack Grealish in the box. Is that offside? I don't think it is offside, actually. Joveljic providing assist maker, playing as a poacher. It's a little bit strange, but we'll take it. Anthony Knockyard finds him here on this right-hand side. This is Jack Grealish here making the run from the penalty spot. Absolutely fantastic run, well timed, and he gets in at the front post. His first goal of the season makes it 2-0 inside 5 minutes. There's another highlight 7 minutes in. Oh, calm down, lads. Give us a 10-minute break. Here we are, 12 minutes in. Jack Grealish on the left-hand side finds Martinez. It's on the edge for Beluta. 22 minutes in, Knockyard with a free kick. What a volley that was by Oscar Cabasas. Is that the second time he's done that this season, despite being incredibly technically poor? I think it is. Another assist and free kick by Knockyard. And it's a left-footed volley by Cabasas at the back post. Absolutely fantastic finish. 3-0. Another highlight. Bissouma with a free kick. We've seen what he can do from just at the edge of the box, but it wasn't to be this time. And that's going to be it for the first half action. 3-0, just like it was in the last game. Is the second half going to be another dull affair, or are we going to build on what has been an incredibly good performance? Jota with the corner just after half-time for Birmingham. It's found back post. Butland keeps them out. And are we going to break? No, we're not going to break. Oh, only about 20 minutes or so to go. We will make some changes. Montoya can come on at left back. McAllister in attacking midfield. Reece Oxford in defensive midfield. Get the boys off. Get them rested. Keep everybody injury free going into the summer. Because you never know, I might need to sell them. Cabasas with a free kick from the halfway line. Finds Bogle on the right hand side. Decent ball in. Woodburn's there. And it goes just over. 7 minutes to go. There is another highlight. Bissouma driving forward in the centre midfield. He's going to take the shot from the edge. That was an incredibly poor shot, which probably means I thought there was going to be more of the highlight, but there wasn't. That was awful. 30 seconds remain. This will be the final highlight of the game and the final highlight of this season. Can we make it count? Probably not, but another 3-0 win. I think it's probably been one of the most popular scorelines that we've won by at the very least. And there we are, full time. We finish off the season very, very well too. Back-to-back 3-0 wins to end it off. what a fantastic season that has concluded. We will take a look at the Sky Bet Championship to see how things stand after that game. 24 points clear from second placed Southampton on 93. We finish with a new record points total of 117 points. Bear in mind the previous record was 106, so we've beat that by 11 points. We miss out on the unbeaten season purely because of Izquierdo's red card against West Brom. I think it was Izquierdo, but he's getting the blame even if it wasn't. Absolutely unbelievable to finish this high up and with this many points despite not having any of the top three goal scorers is a little bit surprising. Alex Martinez and Jose Izquierdo are two of the highest average rating players in the league, 7.37, 7.36, which is still, when you consider the domination that we've had in this league, it's not that high really when you consider it. Anthony Knockyard top of the assists chart with 15, Cedric 14, Tom Ince 13. Anthony Knockyard top of the player of the matches, closely followed by Izquierdo. Jack Butland 31 clean sheets in 46 games. That is pretty special. We've only conceded in 15 games this season, which is quite crazy. We don't really want to talk about Cabasas' yellow cards. In terms of the squad and how they performed, Anthony Knockout was one of the clear standout players of the season. Our inside forward on that right hand side, he's got the right attributes in the right places just to play that position quite perfectly. In terms of the season going forward, he probably will start as our starting attacking right midfielder unless we find someone a whole lot better for a similar sort of price. At 28 years old, he's at his prime now and he's only going to diminish from this point. So if a team was to come in and offer me stupid money, I will probably let him go. But if we are to keep him, that's absolutely fine by me. Good attributes, great personality, left-footed on our right-hand side, which is exactly what we need. I am happy with that. The second place player in terms of average rating was Jose Izquierdo, our other winger, this time on the left-hand side. He was obviously in and out of the team a lot more than Anthony Knockyard was, and he is definitely a player we will be looking to upgrade during the summer transfer window. He's a player who I wouldn't mind hanging on to as part of the squad and being maybe the second choice left winger, but with him kicking up a fuss about us not replacing Florian Andonier to his liking, and with him being 27 years old, one of the highest earners at the club, worth £15 million. Again, if a team comes in and wants him, they are more than welcome to him. Oscar Cabasas is currently unhappy because I refused to give him a contract. He wanted 30 grand a week and I wasn't prepared to pay him that. He's only got a year left on his deal at the minute. But for £400,000, he's been probably the signing of the season in terms of value for money at the very least. He's been great in that centre-back role. A 7.28 in 38 games, getting himself 2 goals. And I think there were 2 special goals as well. And he's still got a little bit of potential to grow. But as you can see by his current report, our assistant manager only classes him as the leading player for most championship sides. So it is an area where I think centre-back, getting one really, really good centre-back in is one of the key objectives for us during the summer transfer window. Alex Martinez, we signed him in the January transfer window of our relegation season in the Premier League, and he's done fantastically in the Championships. 3 goals, 8 assists in 42 games, 7.37 average rating. He's just a really well-rounded full-back, and I'm more than happy to hang on to him as a backup option. I will be looking to improve that left-back role if possible. Jean Soutar was one of the additions, obviously, in the summer. We signed him for £10 million from Hearts. He was to replace either Shane Duffy or Lewis Dunk. He's a really well-rounded centre-back. He probably won't improve too much from this point, but I would imagine you will see him in the first 11 for our first season in the Premier League. Tudor de Baluta, an absolute revelation after returning to us from a loan spell in the first season. He's played great in that Segundo Volante role. 7.15 average rating, 5 goals and 6 assists. A couple of really, really nice goals from the edge of the area. Incredibly well-rounded. We will need to sign a backup, which might mean we end up signing somebody better, but for the time being, I'm more than happy for him to be our starting defensive midfielder. Bissouma, he's been in and out of the side purely down to the form of Scott McTominay and Joshua Onoma, who of course won't be with us next season. A 7.25 average rating, 6 goals and 1 assist from centre of midfield is not too bad. Another area where we will look to improve. Gregor Sorkan, you'll probably never see him again. He's our backup goalkeeper and he's been kicking up for us the entire season. Reece Oxford hasn't played that many games for us on loan from West Ham. Jayden Bogle was one of the signings that were made in the summer transfer window. Still only 19 years old, English right back. him and Montoya will be our two right-back options for next season, barring any interest in either of them. Makudi was probably one of the worst signs of the season. He hasn't played very much as centre-half. It was basically between him and Cabasas who would be the starting centre-back, and it ended up being Cabasas. So Makudi has found his play time very limited, only 5 starts and 5 substitute appearances in the Sky Bet Championship. He is a good centre-half, don't get me wrong. He's incredibly well-rounded. His physicals are fantastic as well, but he's one of them who might end up staying in the squad as like a 4th choice centre-back, but you'll not see much of him. Scott McTominay has done well. I will show him because he has done well for us. 18 starts and 14 sub appearances in the Championship, 4 goals and 4 assists. If he was available on a free, I would sign him, but I'm not spending money on him. Victor, we'll not really chat about him. He didn't really pull up any trees when he was getting the game time. Alexis McAllister did disappoint during the first half of this season, but the second half he definitely turned it up. 7 goals and 4 assists, only a 6.99 average rating, but it isn't a problem area for us. That attack midfield role is something that we've struggled to figure out in terms of how to get the best out of it. So we'll give him a little pass on that, and I think he probably will be a starting player next season. It all depends. I like the potential. Jack Butland, fantastic, A+. Dejan Joveljic, we've talked about him enough during the last few episodes. He's had a poor season. He's going to have to massively improve next season. I will be looking for a striker in the summer transfer window, particularly one who's much more suited to a poacher role than Joveljic is, so Joveljic might find himself being a backup player next season. Jack Grealish I would like to sell during the summer transfer window. He's just too injury prone for me. You can't rely on him whatsoever. Ben Woodburn has been a fantastic player for us. He's played a lot of games purely because of his versatility, and if he was available on a cheap deal I would sign him, but that's unlikely to happen. The rest of these players, nothing really to talk about. Mlakar had a spell in the side as a striker, didn't pull up many trees. Billy Os, he returned on loan from, I think it was in Argentina, Ecuador, sorry. He looks okay. I'll look to sell him in the summer. Andres Dreyer, the same, will look to sell him. Balogun will look to sell. Ostergaard will look to sell. And Glenn Murray, I'm assuming his contract is up at the end of the season. So, in terms of the key positions, what we're looking for, we'll just clear this selection and we will pick our team as we go. So, Jack Butland, absolutely no reason to get rid of him. He will be our starting goalkeeper at the start of next season. Jayden Bogle or Martin Montoya could be the starting right back, and I'm more than happy with either of them doing that. John Sutar, he will be starting at centre back. We will look to either replace Cabasas or Makudi, depending on who sells, but I am looking for another first choice centre back. Left back, I'm looking for another first choice left back. I don't think Alex Martinez is good enough to be a first choice Premier League player without somebody really pushing him. In terms of defensive midfield, Baluta, I am more than happy. In fact, I really want Baluta to be me starting defensive midfield, so I hope nobody comes up who catches my eye and I'm just like, oh, let's sign him. In terms of centre midfield, I wouldn't mind if Jack Grealish was not injury prone, I wouldn't mind him being our centre midfielder, honestly. But the chances are I am going to sign somebody for that centre midfield spot. Anthony Knockyard, I'm more than happy for him to be me starting attacking right midfielder. Izquierdo, I'm not happy about him being me attacking left midfielder, but finances permitting, I am saying that I'm wanting quite a few players. Finances permitting, I will look to replace him, but for now, we'll consider him as a starting player. And Dejan Joveljic and Alex McAllister will complete the side. So, 3 major players I want to sign. Centre half, left back, centre and midfielder. I think they are required for us going into the Premier League. In terms of would like to haves, attacking left midfielder is a would like to have, attacking right midfielder and striker. So all the attacking positions I think we'll need to sign at least backup options, if not full-fledged starters. But in terms of my expectations for next season, I truly believe if we went into a Premier League season with the exact lineup that we've got now, I think we'd probably be a lower to mid-table club. I don't think we will get relegated. I think we would avoid relegation. And yeah, so any improvements that we can make, I think will see us climb high up that table. Probably to mid-table top half is what I'm expecting. In terms of the transfer budgets, £42 million and £700,000 available in the wages, so we are laughing all the way to the bank in terms of what we can do in the summer transfer window. So yeah, I'm looking forward to going through and playing that. Right, my throat's killing, so that is going to be enough from me. If you have enjoyed today's video, please consider leaving a like, and if you are looking forward to next season, get yourself subscribed. But until next time, take it easy.